Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is looking at the DJI RS3 Mini Gimbal and giving a response on whether it's worth the purchase and how it compares to the DJI Ronin SC. This brand has a popular reputation when it comes to stabilization camera tech, so I wanted to test it out for myself. The RS3 Mini only comes with 5 things: the camera holding arm, the tripod base, the 2 USB-C cables, one for charging the gimbal, and the other for connecting the camera to the gimbal, and the camera shoe. Holding the RS3 feels great to the touch and weighs only 795 grams, making it one of the lightest gimbals for DSLRs on the market. The RS3 Mini has a payload capacity of up to 2 kilograms, so make sure you calculate the weight of the camera setup first. It's important to have lightweight yet strong equipment like this to avoid muscle strain after long usage, but to also easily transport it to various locations. Attaching the DJI components is simple. I throw on the tripod base first so it can stand up while I attach the other components. Here, I attach the dual layer quick release plate arm. Later on, I'll show how it can be configured so you can do vertical shooting. If you're liking my videos, like and subscribe. It'll help me make more videos faster and produce content that you'll enjoy. One of the small but significant upgrade of the gimbal are its textured axis locks. The locks are an elevated cone shape, making it easier for you to toggle on and off in any weather condition, and this is especially important for when you're filming in cold weather with gloves on. Toggling these locks is so smooth and they make a solid click once they're in place, so you know they won't move 1mm as you set down the system or physically adjust your camera settings. The RS3 LED touchscreen is the largest improvement for me. It has the dimension of 1.4 inches and its icons and text are very sharp. Don't be fooled, this touchscreen is the interface behind a lot of critical features for this gimbal. If you don't have the DJI app on your phone, which you'll definitely need, the gimbal will provide a QR code that will direct you to the app or Google Play Store. The dial function is a small but versatile feature for camera operators. With a USB cable attached to the camera, I can set the dial function to control the ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and more. In the A7III, you can see the changes to the ISO and aperture occur immediately. This is a big deal for camera operators and directors who want to make adjustments on the fly instead of setting down the camera, manually adjusting the camera settings, and then moving again. So let's do a quick comparison between the Ronin SC and the RS3 Mini. The first obvious difference is the touchscreen, whereas the SC doesn't have one. You can see that the Mini is definitely smaller than the SC. The RS3 has a narrow dial above the trigger and the axis locks are cone shaped instead of slide switches, but the SC doesn't have this style. The RS3 has one native panel for briefcase handle attachment, but the SC has 2 of these panels. Finally, the RS3 grip, which is also the battery, is not removable. The wireless connection between the gimbal and iPhone is immediate and snappy. You can see that when I change the modes on my iPhone, the change in the gimbal is less than a second. Having the connection is so useful if you're part of a camera operator team, and while you're moving around your subject, your coworker can be adjusting the gimbal and camera settings at key moments. The battery life on the RS3 is about 10 hours. The charging port is USB-C, but the cable that comes with it is too short in my opinion, so I'm using a longer braided cord instead. To reach a full charge takes about 2.5 hours. Even when I turn on the gimbal, you can see the small icon showing that it's charging. The nice thing with the RS3 Mini is that while it's charging, you can still use it. Just like the Ronin SC, full small but feature works fine. If you're creative, you can come up with some interesting clips. For example, if you're working in a team, the main operator can move the gimbal while the co-pilot rotates the axis like a steering wheel. There's also the virtual joystick that I find useful if you want to track a subject without actually touching or moving the gimbal system. What are some cool and original ideas that you can think of with these features? Leave a comment below. A neat feature that the RS3 Mini comes with is the ability to film in vertical mode. This is a valuable feature for content creators who want to post non-shaky high quality videos to Instagram or TikTok. One thing to note, If you don't balance the camera correctly, you'll see a flashing red icon on the screen and the gimbal will loudly beep. Check out my other tutorial on how I balance my camera in this mode. Here's how the camera and gimbal moves in sync in 3D space. One of the design flaws with the Rona SE is that the roll motor partially blocked the camera screen, and if I had extended it, it would be caught by this motor as I moved. In other words, I could potentially snap the screen off the camera or damage the screen pixels. The designers listened to their clients and made sure to create the RS3 with enough space between the roll motor and the screen. In the demo, I will show how important it is to have a gap between the screen and the roll motor. There's going to be a bit of shakiness here, so I could have adjusted the settings better, but you have to recognize that I'm walking on slippery and uneven snow, which is off balancing me. Nevertheless, the stabilization of the camera is phenomenal and operates without issue in this cold Canadian weather. When I used the Rona SE in cold climates, the motors were freezing up, pun intended, which was not fun to deal with. The movement of the axes moved fluidly, and with the proper tutorials you can create a lot of fun and exciting content. When in flashlight mode, I want to be able to see the screen, so this is why it's important to have significant space between the extended screen and roll motor. Getting the RS3 Mini is a delight to have because of the vast improvements the designers heard from the customers. The setup of the RS3 is easy to set up, intuitive to use, and balance in no time. What I have to emphasize is how light it is to carry and the fact that I didn't feel any muscle strain in my arms. The axis movement is incredibly smooth with the small but powerful motors. When you have tools like this, your imagination is the limit for what's possible. If you're looking to upgrade your gimbal or get your first one, I strongly recommend that you consider the RS3 Mini. Since you made it to the end of this video, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next episode.